Hello and welcome to Voyagers Adventure episode 3, and this episode we are building a GCI Woody. And as you can see, the Woody is already in. Very inspired by Wickerman, as I mentioned last episode. It's sort of a family thrill wooden coaster. So perfect coaster for pretty much all the families. Like if it's your first bigger thrill coaster before you go on that monster in the background, then it's probably a good one. And then it's good for like people that enjoy really thrilling coasters as well, because it still offers a fair bit of thrills like airtime and twistiness and drops and all sorts, and it's going to be nicely themed just like the rest of the coasters. So I'll go through the layout. I'll pop the coaster into test mode so you can see it going around. But yeah, like I said, it's very Wickerman inspired. So it comes out of the station here, makes a right turn into its pre-lift section going under the entrance and the exit paths. This is going to be quite the terrain coaster once I'm finished with it, especially like with the path interaction as well. You'll have kind of like the nice long path, almost like Wickerman has, the long queue that interacts with the area. So it goes around the first drop. It's the same height as Wickerman as well, so it's not very big. Gets a nice bit of speed though coming down this drop. Nice airtime hill. The Wickerman S-bend section just there. A little double up into an, it's not really an overbank, is it? Just a bank turn. Nice more twists as it goes over the entrance piece as well, and then a flat turn just like Wickerman. Nice bit of laterals, drops back underneath the structure, under the structure again, and you kind of have this nice, is it helix? Oh no, just a turn around, little pop of airtime into the brakes, and as you can see the next train has already left, so by the time this one comes through the brake run and its first full block section just there, this train is nearly at the top of the lift hill, so it's going to be an absolute people eater, again just like Wickerman is when it's running 3 trains. And I'm so very happy with this layout. It took quite a long time for me to perfect it. The Woody was originally much bigger than this, like it went like all the way over here. You can see some of the markers for it when like the terrain, so it used to come all the way out here. It was originally going to be absolutely huge, but no, it's going to be like family thrill coaster just like Wickerman, because I absolutely love that thing. So this is almost like my little homage to Wickerman, and the trains have become unsynced. I need to change that. Anyway, I will get back to you once I've done a bit more on the theming. Right then, update number 2. There's probably been quite a big gap in between this update and the previous one, because I've just been on a theme park holiday, which was very fun. Away for a couple of days, did Wallaby, Belgium, Parc Asterix and Disneyland Paris, so I've got quite a bit of inspiration. Not necessarily for a wooden coaster. The only wooden coaster I went on was Tonnerre de Zeus, which was, I like it, but most people don't, which is quite rough, and the theming's not great, so yeah, this is probably more going to be inspired by Wickerman, but as you've probably noticed, we have some sort of effigy, again like Wickerman, but this time instead of Big Bob we have a big snake. I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. It's sort of like the, is it the Panther Puma shrine thing in the Jumanji area? I can't remember what animal it is. But it's sort of like that. It's kind of accidentally turned out a bit like that, but yeah, that's sort of what I was going for with that. And then the whole area is really like kind of taken off. You need to add some more stuff around this part to kind of make it a bit more interesting and interaction with the bridge. You need to add an entrance archway here to tell you what entrance you're coming into. And then the actual station building and this kind of mimics like older Mayan temples that I need to add a bit more aging to. But that's sort of the theme with this area, it's like old Mayan temples. This fence, I'll put a photo up on screen now. This is kind of sort of inspired by a fence that I saw at Disneyland Paris. Like the fact that I've taken a photo of a fence that I saw in a theme park and rebuilt it in a game just shows how nerdy I am in terms of theme park stuff. But yeah, I think me and Jan both took a photo of it to kind of, I don't know, it's inspiration. You can find inspiration from literally anywhere. So I put a bit of TMTK, what are they called? Fence, that's the word, yeah, TMTK fence, in here, just so it's like a bit of an overflow queue, because I didn't know what actual ride in the park would be the newest ride. I haven't really decided yet, so yeah, I just thought if this was a new ride it would probably have some leftover extended queue out the front when it was really busy. Obviously name here, which has already been selected at the time of this video releasing, which I'll unveil in the final update. And you come through the entrance arch, and then you're greeted with like a really nice view of across pretty much the entire layout of the ride. Oh, camera work. So I need to fill in all the rest of this queue, obviously. That'll be all nice and rock-worked and stuff. Obviously you can tell this bit is very inspired by Wickerman, but I think I already showed you the layout of this coaster, didn't I? The big snake, and as you can probably see, there's that water jet in his mouth. I'll show you what happens with that when we go past it later. When the coaster comes around, and you kind of get this nice view coming down through here. Again, nice views of all the different parts of the coaster. There is a few parts that I've added steels in where it goes above the path, so I need to do that for a few more areas. I've done it to this part, but not to that part. Come down here. Underneath all the structure again, you get some really nice views of this coaster. It's kind of the first time I've actually looked at it in, like, I don't know, what's the word? Tejicam, what's the word? I was going to say people view, but it means pretty much the same thing. Then you come up here. This is going to be enter at night, this part. So this is kind of like a, well, this bit here is a pre-show. I'm going to do a pre-show for this coaster, but I'm not going to show you the pre-show yet, because I'll leave that for the actual walkthrough at the end, because I haven't made it yet, basically, so I'm not showing you it now. But I've got ideas. I've got ideas of what I want it to be, and it's going to be pretty cool if it works. So you come into the indoor section here. This is all going to be, obviously, enter at night, so there'll be some nice lighting. I'm going to do a themed kind of box similar to how I've done on this side, and you kind of go in between all these beams, because, you know, we love beams. Little themed pieces, and then you get a lovely view over the area, especially of the dive coaster. And the big snake. I actually need to name the snake. Wickerman's called Big Bob. I need to name the snake something. Comment below, what do I name the snake? And then this is the station building. Obviously you would come into it from the pre-show there that I tried to miss, and I think I ended up showing you a bit of it anyway. Oh well, and this is the station. I'm so happy with the station, but what I will show you is, if we put the station into night, this is what it looks like at night. And then if I pause the game and dispatch the coaster, I'm going to show you what the dispatch sequence actually looks like. So I will shut up for a few seconds so you can have a listen. I mean, how cool was that? When I was back making Wonderworld, Jan made me, literally just me, a tutorial. It was very nice of him on how to do triggered lighting, and I used a little bit of it in Wonderworld, but I kind of asked him for it that late in the series that I didn't really have time to implement enough of it. So this is the series, Jan, you'll be happy. I'm adding in lighting and stuff, really nice like themed moving lighting. I'm sure you probably think it's crap compared to the amazing stuff you do with it, but I'm really happy with it. So oh, it's going fast again. I just love it so much. I really wish in Planet Coaster you could have like different coloured trains, so you could have like one yellow train and one green train. Just kind of go with the colours a bit better, but yeah, and then you would exit through the exit. So that's why I've just put all the triggers down. I'll probably cover them up, but you exit obviously through this part. Yeah, and then this is going to be the coaster view you'll get at night. Obviously I need to add a lot more night lights into this, but yeah, I'm so happy with it. The layout's just quite fun. It's just a nice fun coaster, so I'll probably add a lot more theme into this in the next update. Just in terms, oh, you missed the water effect. I'll fast forward it so you can get to see it again. I'll add a lot more theming in between this update and the next update. And then the final update, obviously, will be the coaster fully completed. I don't really know what it's going to look like. I just need to have quite an experiment. But yeah, that's what it looks like when the coaster goes past. You see the water. Oh, I've added this part as well. So I don't know if I mentioned last time. The members will have seen this already, but I've added these photo units around the park. So there's one near the dive coaster, and then there's this one here. They're differently themed depending on what area they're in, and there's an actual vending machine behind it as well, so the guests will go up and interact with this. I've added this whole exit section as well with the walls. Oh, I keep forgetting stuff. And then I've added the custom supporting as well. So this first turn of the first drop, yeah, that is all custom supported. A few more bits that need custom supporting on the really highly banked parts because they just, well, yeah, need more support. So I need to go through and add that to the rest of the coaster, and I've added this bit here as well. It's kind of like all nice and overgrown, so you can get a pretty nice view as the coaster goes past actually. That's the main thing I want with this area. I want it to be really nice and immersive and stuff. It's not going to be just all loads of vegetation, like, look at that tree, it's so unique it's fallen over. Sort of stuff like that. Oh, I've got to remove the archer, but that's... Oh! Camera! I've got to remove the archer, but that's probably a good thing to talk about as well with this fencing. Obviously, I've changed certain parts of it for when it gets closer to the track and everything. I'm just waffling on. I'm going to go to the next update. I'll see you then. Here we are, the second to last update. I think I've done quite a bit since last time. I probably should have done an update in between last update and this one, but I just kind of got a bit carried away. So I'll start with the most obvious thing that's probably changed, which is this down here. I've added like a food unit, and the reason why it's got like such a flat back is because it's almost going to be like, think of the, it's on a much smaller version, but think of the like how Fly at Phantasialand has the kind of large facade walls around it. I've done that to kind of like sort of create a boundary between this area and the area that will be here, because I mean this whole thing, if you can see the cursor, this will all be a coaster, and then there'll be a coaster that, so this is going to be like a really big coastery portion focused part of the park. So this is going to be kind of like a little boundary wall in between these two areas, but obviously I'm not going to be able to hide. I think it's about 120 foot tall, this coaster, so maybe even more, so I'm not going to be able to hide that. So yeah, that's why I've done that. And then actually no, it's probably more like 150. I don't know what in meters. It's about 30. I really don't know. It's big. So yeah, I've got this little restaurant area down here. I need to go and add some music parts to it. You can kind of hear some in the background. I've added these like poles with some roots and beams and stuff. Then there's like nice seating area under here, and then there's like a food unit here. I wanted to kind of have it, this is like my first kind of custom-y food unit thing, but the way it works is these smaller ones are the vending machines, and these bigger ones, I mean the bigger ones are vending machines as well, it's all vending machines, so people will kind of go up to about here and sort of order it, so it look like they're interacting with the person behind. I need to put some more detail inside here as well. It's just random crap at the moment. Then you've got your AC unit on the top, which is actually clipping through, which I need to move. And then obviously there's the actual coaster. I've added this wall that goes along here so you get the view across. Different kind of materials as well going on, different plants to get you nice contrasts between the themed areas. I need to add its own little sign, a bit like this, like an entrance archway, and need to theme in the rest of this bridge. I think, did I mention any of this last time? Is the fence just in case the queue gets a bit too big. This will be the ride sign. Nice and spiky and rocky and woody. Then obviously you will enter the queue through this part. I think I showed you most of the queue last time. The big snake thing hasn't changed. I think that's about the same. I've added a lot more as you come off the ride. So as you come off the ride, obviously you'll come down this bridge, and then you've got your photo unit, which I think was also the last time, and then you've just kind of got like bits of stuff to look at, and there's the custom supports on the coaster as well. And then inside the station building, I don't think much has changed here actually. It's just mainly just I've added a lot more kind of like detail into places and more foliage. So the next update will be the last one with it all complete. And then I think the station is kind of the same as last time. I've had a bit more messing around with the triggers. I've added doors on this side as well. So I thought if you've got this station like dark because it's night, you'd want these doors to be shut so you can't see outside that it's night, because the second it dispatches this is going to turn to day. So that's why I've done that. And then the maintenance area, I don't think I showed you this last time, so this is going to be all in darkness as well, so it doesn't have to be too detailed. It'll be like Wickerman's one where it pulls through the maintenance shed before it gets into the station. And then I've just made this curtain wall out of the overall pieces, and then the transfer track there. I might go and add some more details in here. It depends how much time I have, because I don't really want to put too much details into the bit that you're pretty much never going to see, because it just eats away at the piece count. I'd rather put it elsewhere so I can get better performance for the rest of the park. Yeah, and then back into the station. So that's it for this update. Next update will be the final one. I'll try and do some fancy match cut thing here. So see you in the final update. There you go. The third episode of Voyagers Adventure is now complete. The GCI Woody is nearly done. There's a few tweaks that I want to do, but this is the time where, if you follow my Discord and YouTube quite closely, that I've taken a break from YouTube just for some personal stuff that's happened. I needed to take some time away. So this is probably the longest gap I've had between episodes. I've just started episode 4 now. Episode 3, which is this, is now completed, but it's probably been a month since I've touched this park, which is why it's taken so long. I'm sorry about the delay, but your life has to come first. So with that sad stuff out of the way, this is what we have for episode 3. It's now finished. I'm in love with this GCI. I absolutely adore it. It's been a huge labour of love trying to get it all, like the coaster synced up and everything, the theming, even coming up with the idea for it was quite difficult because I wanted to obviously do almost like a homage to Wickerman, because I feel like without Nemesis it's probably my favourite coaster at Alton Towers, tied with the Smiler. I just wish Smiler's theming was a bit better, but I really wanted to go quite all out with the theming on this. It's not finished. I probably will go back and add bits to this, but I want to progress with the rest of the series. I've been on this coaster for so long, and it's not necessarily like negative connotations because I've like been working on it for ages, but I just kind of want it done now and I want to move on to something else. So I will go back to it, but the something else is what's coming here, and I'll tell you what that is at the end, so you can suggest names in the comments. But yeah, this is the wooden coaster and restaurant area and everything. I made this sign before I had my break, so I think it is like Chick Chan? I have no idea, but I think that was the name for the area, like Mayan temple themed area. So the name for this coaster, the sign's gonna go here. So I'll reveal the name for the coaster now, because obviously you all chose it last episode. I've got no idea what it is, but thank you for whoever chose this, I assume, amazing name, which is why I picked it, so thanks for choosing that. And as you can see, I've added the triggered effect there. When the train goes past, you'll see it when the next one comes past. But entering this area, you would enter over this bridge, like you do for the dive coaster. Enter into this area. You get a really nice view as you come in. There's like the different layers of the coaster behind with the big snake boy. We like big snake boy. So down here, you kind of get nice views across the dive coaster area. This kind of little temple in the middle holds another toilets unit. I thought I should probably add one of those. It's been a while since I've added a toilets unit around the park, and I don't want people to have to like trek halfway across the park to actually need a pee somewhere. So that's why I did that. This fence, I've checked, it's like the right heights and everything for how close you get into the coaster. Obviously this bit's built up a little bit higher. Might have to build it up a bit further, I don't know, but there's like a couple of benches dotted around. This is kind of like just a nice island, kind of like break up the space in the middle. It's got another temple in it, which is the toilet, obviously. A couple of trees, that one's a bit drunk. And then the entrance to the ride with the cool sign that you've just seen. I put this bit outside because I think this would probably be the newest coaster in the park lore, which I don't really know why I'm building it as episode 3 and not the first episode or the last episode, but yeah, we're building it halfway through the series and it's the newest coaster, so deal with it. Yeah, entrance here, you've seen the name of the sign there. But the same safety information as the dive coaster, because obviously it's still a coaster, but the height requirement for this, I can't find a height requirement board that doesn't say 1.4, so you just have to pretend that it's 1.2, or this might even be 1, no, it's not 1 meters, I think Wickerman's 1.2, but yeah. Enter under this nice arch, and this queue took forever, but I'm so happy with it. You get some really nice views, and the interaction with the coaster as you go around it is really nice. So we'll walk, I think, probably most of it. There's a couple of areas where the wall pieces obviously can't curve like this, so I've built them out of the thicker beams. You get some nice seating places as you go around the queue, so you don't just get really tired from standing up, because you do a lot of that in theme parks, you're just kind of stood there waiting. Then you've got this nice island around the huge snake, which is a coaster coming now, perfect time. Let's see. It's like he's gargling, but he's meant to be like Venom. He's just gargling over everyone as they go past. And you can come around here, the queue kind of like snakes around, hence the snake. More seating areas down here, you go under and around the coaster a few times. Obviously with the queue covers, but there isn't one there, but I'll put one there eventually. You get a really nice view coming up the lift hill there, it's quite good timing. And then that is the exit bridge with the station at the top there. When I said this isn't finished, I need to go back and add more foliage to this. I want it to look a bit more like overgrown, but that'll come when I eventually get more time to work on this area. The custom supports, I don't know whether I mentioned them actually, I'm really happy with the custom supports on this coaster. They are on the main kind of, I don't know, bits that you can view from being off-ride. I haven't done it everywhere because I thought it'd just be a bit of a waste of time, but I've put it on the areas where you will see it on the ride. Like this would probably have some bits going down it around the side, but you're never going to see them, so that's why I've decided to do that. Where were we? We've just come up here. So yeah. Oh, great autosave. Like, oh, so much lag. There we go. The park's already lagging and we're not even halfway through. So this is the indoor queue. It says to enter at night, so I will put it into night. I'll start this with the torch on, because at the moment you can't really actually tell it's night, because when I turn around and turn the torch off, it's pretty much complete darkness, so it says enter at night. I need to add probably a light here, but once you go inside the indoor queue, it gets very atmospheric. I purposely haven't showed you much of this, but I'm quite happy with it. It needs a few more details, I think. Like I said, they will come later along in the series. I think either the last episode might be either the last episode or just before the tour. I'll go around and like do finishing touches and stuff, like add more details, maybe add a couple of flat rides, a few more shops and stuff. This park needs a gift shop at some point. I'm struggling to know where to put that, so that will come at some point. There's a few nice theming little bits here, and then you get this nice view of the park at night, especially of the coaster, which I'm so happy with. See the gargling snake. And then you can come into pre-show, which probably also needs a light. But yeah, I'm really happy with this pre-show. I do want to add more stuff to it. Like I said, this isn't finished, but I just wanted to get this episode out of the way so I can get on with the next coaster. So this is the pre-show. I will show you the pre-show now. It's not very long. Like I said, I need to add more to it, but it kind of gives away a little bit of the backstory of the ride. It's a little bit theatrical as well, so enjoy. Go, that was the pre-show. Just a little bit of fun before you get on the ride, but obviously it's not the longest pre-show in the world. I do want to add a bit more to it eventually. I think the thing I'm happiest with about this building as a whole is the station. I love the station. It might need a little bit more lighting because some of it is quite hard to see, but it's just so atmospheric. There's another window here so you can get a nice view of the park and the coaster. And I've purposely paused the coaster's operation because I want to show you this is the first time I've ever done dispatch like triggers. So I've got dispatch lighting and dispatch audio. So it's actually behind these. So these are little speakers on the end, and they are triggered by some triggers that are inside this box unit that do lighting and stuff. So I would turn my torch on and show you the inside, but most of it gets lit up with the when the train comes in anyway, so I want to show you that. So I will stand probably about here, I think, and I will show you what the dispatch audio and visuals look like. It's about time we go on this ride. You've waited long enough throughout this episode, and I've waited long enough actually building this thing, so let's get on. I thought I'd show the station at day, so this is what it looks like with normal day lighting. I think still it looks quite nice, but I think that because of how obviously small the openings are, the park could probably have quite good control over what they wanted to be darker and what lighter, so they could actually just cover this up and it would just look like it's normal night lighting in the day. And then you come outside, get very nice view of the coaster. I think as well I might actually add, if you've been on Wickerman you'll know, I don't want to spoil it, but there is a tiny little effect in the brake hall when you go inside the maintenance shed, so I might go and add something like that at some point. But I like all this custom flooring I've put in as well. I didn't really mention all this, but there's like tiles, and it goes through all the queue as well. But yeah, really nice. Come down here. This one's got the covers on in the steel, so I forgot to put it in the other one. Come up through this path, and it brings you out to the photos unit. I added one of these to the dive coaster, which we'll see in the tour as well. But I'm going to do like a little custom self-serve photos unit for each of the rides around the park, and then you can either kind of go this way, which just brings you out there, or this way, which splits off into the other area, which will be next week's episode. And then this restaurant here, which is like a quick service sort of restaurant. These actually do work as well. There's vending machines behind these boards, so it's actually usable. I don't know why there's two floating speakers in there. It's a bit weird. But yeah, that is this episode finished. I'm so happy with this area. It's taken a long time to do, but I'm really happy with that. I also need to go and detail the backstage like maintenance area as well. But yeah, this is why that episode's taken so long. Just stuff going on in life, as it does happen. But yeah, now it's finished. I can get on with the rest of the park series, and as you're seeing this now, as a release of the first episode, actually, the entire park series is complete. I wanted to wait until I've released the first. I wanted to wait until the final episode was complete and the park was complete before I started releasing it. So the park is actually finished. I'm probably well on my way with my next project. I've got 2 mini parks that I want to do, but I can't decide between them. So I'm probably just going to work on them both at the same time and then see how far I get with either of them for which one releases first. But if you want updates on those and episodes maybe a little bit earlier of this park and previews, like almost daily images actually, of this park and other parks I'm working on, you can become a channel member, which supports me so much, and I'm very, very thankful for my channel member. But even if you're not a member and you just watch all my videos, it's still greatly, greatly appreciated. I couldn't do this without any of you, so thank you so much for all the support as always, and getting me to whatever subscriber milestone I am now. I cannot keep track, you lot are insane. So this is episode 3 complete. I need to tell you actually what is going to be coming over here in episode 4. It's going to be a coaster. It's going to be a really big one. It's going to be themed to an expansive Amazon. It says jungle and rapids. There is a rapids ride somewhere. Yeah, I did move it up here, but I'm still undecided whether the rapids ride is going to be here. But it might interact with this coaster if it is, or this coaster down here. Who knows? But this coaster is going to come out here, go over the lake. It's going to be very picturesque. Probably one of the things you'll mostly see from here. Oh, I think I know why they're there now. Okay. But anyway, this coaster for next week's episode, episode 4, I'm really drawing this out, is probably, not even probably, it is the best coaster I have ever made, at least for me personally. Custom supported the entire thing. It's a big thrill coaster, over 1,500 pieces to custom support the entire thing. And it is my first ever Mack Extreme Spinner. If you remember, you will have already seen quite a few images of this. But yeah, I am obsessed with this coaster. It's so good. It's got onboard audio and everything. It's going to be themed to Amazon, like I said. So I need a name for a Mack spinning coaster themed to like an Amazon forest. I'll let you do what you want with that. You probably wonder what these are. These are just like random tests of me thinking of what the station building could be like. So just think of same as plantation like this, like trees and bushes and palm trees and stuff like on a dive coaster, but with like a lot more rocks and wood focus, maybe some water features and stuff, because it goes all across this little, oh no, it's not a lake, piece of water. But yeah, it has quite a big presence on this part of the park. So thank you very much for watching. The park is getting there. Next week, this whole area will be filled in. The week after will be this big coaster down here. The week after that, I think I'm going to do over here, and then the week after that will be down here. Well, 2 weeks after that, sorry, because this will be 2 episodes worth. And then the park will be finished. Whoa. Can't wait for this park to be finished. It's been really enjoyable making it so far, but I feel like it's taken its toll, especially with the amount of effort I've had to put in for it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week for the Mack Extreme Spinning Coaster. Suggestions for the names in the comments, please. You always pick some amazing ones. I will see you then. Goodbye.